We are back on Get Up. Dillon Gabriel suffered a concussion third quarter Sunday against the Ravens. Shedeur Sanders entered the game, made his highly anticipated NFL debut. If Gabriel is not cleared for Sunday's game against the Raiders, Shedeur will make his first NFL start. There's no obvious reason they shouldn't let him start anyway, but that's my opinion. J-Mac, you were on the call of that game for CBS. Can you describe what the stadium was like when he ran on the field?
Well, let's start with the first half, because Dillon Gabriel's out there and let the offense do anything that was bad. The crowd, boo!
Oh, God.
Dillon Gabriel doesn't come out for the second half. You see Shedeur on the sideline. We're up in the booth, and we're like, what's going on? Where's Dillon Gabriel? Shedeur takes the field. He doesn't even get past the numbers yet. Does one of these to the crowd, and the place erupted.
Yes.
Then they do a pass play on his first snap. 4-yard pass, a little out route on the sideline. They're all going nuts.
Here it is.
The amount of number 12 jerseys in the stands. College kids standing there showing their wrist, the watch celebration that Shedeur does, the amount of autographs. Like, he is a bona fide superstar there. The fans have been wanting this. And Greeny, you're right. Yes, was Shedeur's performance good? No. By all measures, he was not good in that game. But there were a few throws in that game that he makes that you're like, all right, he may have something.
The organizational malpractice that we have witnessed from that team to have Joe Flacco and what's the quarterback? Kenny Pickett there and give Kenny Pickett all this work in the preseason and then trade him and leave your two rookies that are sitting there so that when Shedeur Sanders actually has to come into a winnable game against a division opponent, his offensive line has never heard his cadence before. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And like the small things that like the average fan won't pick up, like from center to quarterback exchange. I mean, he may have gotten 4 or 5 snaps like the whole year. Now you're going to snap the rest of the game to him. Like you said, the cadence. He goes under to give his cadence. The offensive line is literally listening like the defensive line does. Half the guys are probably looking at the ball to see when the center snaps it because they don't know inflection. And then when the ball is coming out, you don't know where his launch point is going to be, right? Every quarterback kind of sets up different. So as you're getting ready for this and you know he's a rookie, it's going to take time to process. It was a setup for failure in the whole situation. Did he play? No. I mean, what were your expectations?
Yeah.
That's what I would ask everybody who's criticizing. What were your expectations for this kid with literally getting 0 reps and coming in and being asked to go finish this game?
It did feel like, at least in the quarterback room, they constructed that roster like they were playing a video game. Like, you just grab a bunch of whatever pieces that are available, and they got rid of Joe Flacco, too, which I understand that he wasn't going to take you anywhere, but it's a veteran presence. Like, we got 2 rookies leaning on each other.
Right.
Neither of them don't know nothing.
Right.
And they're in a meeting room together. Like, pay somebody who's played in this league, who's had some success in this league, to just sit there and answer questions.
Yes.
Like, this is how you prepare and be able to be that conduit. And right now, who does Shedeur go to for that type of support?
100.
Dillon Gabriel?
Exactly. And when you're in the meetings and when you're going out to practice, you can't get Shedeur's reps because Dillon's got to get them.
Yeah.
Whoever's playing, like when you got a rookie, like you have Flacco, you can take 10 plays and give it to the rookie. You can't do that now because neither of them know anything.
I'm going to set aside some more time for this in our second hour.
This was
Dan,
brutal.
Finish up the thought.
The perception of who Shedeur Sanders is on the outside versus what it is on the inside of that building is different. They drafted him in the 5th round. They view him as a developmental quarterback prospect that in their ideal world would not have taken a single snap this year. They wanted him to learn in the background. They had the 2 veterans. I think the best point that's being made here is they needed to keep at least one of those veterans as a sounding board, if nothing else, for these guys.
Bailey Zappi on the practice squad. That's the sounding board.
It's amazing. But now they play a Raiders team that we just saw look just god-awful last night on a short week. I mean, something good could happen. I'm saying that if he plays this weekend, he might have it with actual practice and his offensive linemen know
I like it.
The city of
they have a
Cleveland
fighting chance. To column on ESPN.com, and here's the first. If someone were to say Josh Allen is on his way to repeating as MVP this season, would that be an overreaction?
It would, and I understand why someone would overreact to the game he had Sunday when he helped J-Mac win his fantasy league against his brother. But, yeah, just too inconsistent this year, and it just doesn't feel like the MVP award is always like sort of a story of the season, right? And it just doesn't feel like Josh Allen's at the forefront of that. He could get there, but right now I think it would go to Drake May or Matthew Stafford or even Taylor.
It's an interesting race this year. It'll probably be decided the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think so.
Sometimes it's easy to forget how early we still are in all of this. Speaking of the Rams, let's get to Stafford. If someone were to say this is the best Rams team of the Stafford era, would that be an overreaction?
It would be an overreaction. They look great. It would be an overreaction to a 2-point victory in which the other team turned it over 4 times. But look, that Rams team that won the Super Bowl 4 years ago had, Cooper Kupp having one of the greatest seasons we've ever seen by a receiver or really any player. They added Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr. Around the trade deadline. I need to see more from this Rams team, but that looks outstanding.
Fair enough.
To put them there.
But, Jeff, are they the best
Aaron
team?
Donald was on that team.
Are they the best team in the NFL?
Player.
Are the Rams right now the best team in football?
And I would say that because of the Lane Johnson injury for me today. Otherwise, I'd have the Eagles at 1, but I think they beat a very good Seattle team. Again, they turned them over, but their defense is playing good. Those teams, they got the most balance right now of those squads.
Right. On the Colts.
And then let's do one more. Let's do Kansas City. If someone were to say, hey, Graziano, the Chiefs are going to miss the playoffs, is that an overreaction?
Yes.
Wow.
Boy, oh boy, is it getting dicey. I mean, 5-5. Look, you can't put anything past this group, obviously. Like, no one's ever won the Super Bowl from the 7th seed. Would you be shocked if this Chiefs team was the first one to do it? Of course you wouldn't. Right now, they do not look like a team that, frankly belongs in the playoffs. They're just not playing that well. They hung with Denver, which I guess it is impressive. Denver's got the best record in the league, but they used to win these games, and they're not winning them.
Right. The Chiefs are not about hanging with anyone.
Exactly.
The Chiefs are about winning. And at the end of the day, look, if you're going to lose faith, this is the time to lose faith. Their last 2 games, statement game, Buffalo, lose that one.
Yeah.
Bye week. Andy Reid never loses off a bye week. Statement game, Denver. They lose that one too. And to Graz's point, the Broncos just look like the better team.
Yeah, and they've been in these games close at the end, and you expect the difference to be there, to be the most clutch quarterback we've ever had, and Patrick Mahomes to come through in those situations. And you expect Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo to dial up the right blitzes at the right time. They aren't getting those plays yet. And when you look at how many games they have left in the wild card tiebreakers that they do not have, like, they're in a real bad spot. They may be able to lose one more game of the remaining few, which they lose coming up against the Colts, which is a formidable opponent, the best team in the AFC, right, or second best if you're giving it to the Broncos. It's a tough spot.
It's important for people to understand what we're saying. We are not putting anything past the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Kansas City Chiefs, capable of anything. However, they are not winning these clutch games that they always win. And that is alarming because the magic has to come back.
It's not just that, though. The math is starting to work against them. They've lost all the teams that they would need to win tiebreakers against. I'm going to say this. If they lose to the Colts this weekend, they're basically done. They're this close to done. You can put anything you want, not past them. Can Patrick Mahomes? He cannot elevate a team from outside the playoffs when they mathematically have no chance to get back in. There's too many teams that are too far ahead of them. They're still favored to win all these games.
That's what's crazy to me is they're favored, 6. I mean, I don't get it. Like, of the 4, go through this. Himbo and I talked about this morning. Denver, Buffalo, Philly, and the Chargers. Those 4 games, the Chiefs had led 11 minutes of all 4. 11 minutes.
Yeah. Right.
Like, when do we talk about the
when it's over? Like until it's over mathematically.
Yeah.
We can't count them out.
It's such a hard conversation because the truth is, you're betting on Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
That's the facts of it, right? Spag's going to put a great defense out there, but you're betting on those guys figuring it out. And right now, neither of those guys are in their bag and playing their best. And that's a problem.
And it's because we've seen it. And now, to you guys' point, you look at the tiebreakers, and we're looking at the Chargers, who's already beat them. We're looking at the Jaguars, who've already beat them. But then you ask yourself the question, if it comes down to from this point in the season, moving forward, who do I have more faith and more hope in that's going to go on a run and be able to make the playoffs? Do I think the Chargers are going to sustain with their offensive line issues? Do I believe in Trevor Lawrence that he's going to continue and get the Jags in the playoffs? Or do I think that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to go on a run and be able to withstand and pass those teams Those just two teams to be able to make the. Yes, they have the passing. But that's why we still believe it, because we believe in those teams more.
That game they gave away against Jacksonville on that Monday night could wind up keeping them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, and we look at, I mean, I think to your point, it's a good one that you're making, J-Mac, is like the ESPN analytics still suggest, and we talk about analytics like it's a nerd computer somewhere, but that computer got feelings. If it's saying that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are still the favorite, it is not going off of only statistical analysis. Even the computer's scared of Patrick.
I do think they should be playing better than they are, especially on offense. Like, they felt like this year's offense was going to be a real one as opposed to the one that kind of limped through the last couple. But
the last thing that I think is important is, like, the rest of the teams in the AFC really want the Colts to win this week. Because as much as we talk about, as much as we point out all the flaws that the Chiefs have, and all these teams, they saw them get blown out in the Super Bowl. They're not scared of them anymore. Don't nobody want to see them in January.
Don't give them a chance to activate. Just don't. You want them out of the playoffs.
Get them when they're struggling.